Imagine this. It's a typical Monday. You grab your coffee, settle into your desk, ready for the week. Then an unexpected email pops up. Meeting. Important. It's unusual. Your heart skips a beat. In the meeting room, there's an unusual silence. You're surprised that HR is there with your manager too. The words fall like a sledgehammer. You're downsizing, and your position is affected. In that moment, your world flips. The stability you've built, the plans you've made, are all blown up. You're grappling with a storm of emotions: disbelief, fear, betrayal, shame, and the sting of rejection. This isn't just a job loss. It's a life quake, shaking your foundations at the core. But in this darkest hour, there's a glimmer of hope. You're not alone. And there are steps you can take, right now, to weather this storm and emerge stronger than you were before. I've been in your shoes, and in this video, I'll guide you through what you should do if you're hit by a layoff. Let's rewind to that pivotal moment, the layoff meeting. This is where you pivot from shock to strategy, from emotion to action. Your manager or human resources will tell you that your role was eliminated in a robotic tone with corporate speak and legal jargon that will likely leave you confused. They will also give you a separation agreement or tell you you will be emailed those details shortly. First, manage your emotions. Take a few deep breaths. It's natural to feel a storm inside, but in this moment, calmness is your ally. Listen carefully, ask clear, concise questions. Understand the reasons, the timeline, the next steps. Here are some things you should not do. Never yell, curse, or behave in a threatening manner. You never want to burn bridges. Do not sign any documents immediately. Do not try to negotiate to save yourself. The decision has already been made, and any new information you provide can potentially be used against you. Next, make sure you ask for and get critical information at the meeting or in any follow-up communication. What is the specific end date of your employment? Is there any opportunity to find another role within the company? If so, how much time do you have to find another role? What final work obligations do you have to the company? If you're walked out immediately, it's not personal, it's protocol. Gather your belongings with dignity. If you have time to wrap up, use it wisely. Organize your projects, leave clear instructions. If possible, send your colleagues an email with your contact information, such as your personal email, phone, and LinkedIn profile. It's about leaving a positive last impression. Remember that you want to have the best references possible for your next role. Interacting with coworkers can be challenging. Be honest yet professional. Share only what you're comfortable with. Remember, these relationships can be part of your future network. Now, let's talk about the days after the layoff. After the whirlwind, reread the separation agreement, which contains all the details of your separation from the company, including the remaining benefits you are entitled to. Pay close attention to the deadline. Employees over 40 years old are typically given at least 21 days to consider a separation agreement before signing, and you likely have at least a couple of weeks to decide. So pay attention, but take a few days to decompress. If you have the option to look for another role in the company, check the internal job listing sites, contact HR, and network within the company as soon as possible to secure a new role. But be warned that typically this is a difficult route, because companies are usually not hiring in some areas while laying off in others. If you do not have the option to look for another role inside the company, look for attorneys in your area who offer free consultations and hear what they have to say about your case. If you're an early career employee who hasn't been with the company very long, chances are that hiring an attorney in the United States will not benefit you, unless you believe the company is in serious violation of some laws such as discrimination on the basis of age, sex, or race. This is because many employment contracts are at will, which means either you or the employer can end your relationship at any time and for any reason. Companies also have the upper hand because your employment contract likely sends any legal disputes to arbitration, which means you don't get to settle disputes in court, and that favors the company, not you. While I don't have time to go deep into details here, sign up for my newsletter in the description for more tips and resources. Here are some quick tips I recommend. Go through all your finances and make sure you have been paid accurately including weekly paychecks, bonuses, and 401k matching. Make sure all your expenses have been reimbursed. The reason for this is that in exchange for the severance package, you give up all future claims against the company. Start the process for unemployment insurance as soon as you know that you will be definitively separating from the company, because governments will take several weeks to process your claim. If the company's offboarding period allows you access to your email and contact lists, make sure to network and get updated contact information from peers, managers, and anyone else who you think might be able to help you on your journey. Send courteous emails to clients or professional contacts outside the company with who you have established relationships, notifying them that you are leaving your current company without going into detail about a layoff. Finally, here's something 90% of employees don't do that often puts easy money in your pocket. Ask for a reasonable increase in severance, but be nice about it. Write an email to the contact you were provided, usually in HR, about how you appreciate the opportunity to work at the company and call out your accomplishments. Also state that while you understand things change, this will have a big impact on your life and that it would greatly help if they can increase the severance amount. A rule of thumb is to ask for about 10 to 20% more than what was offered. For example, if they offered you 4 weeks severance pay, ask for one more for a total of 5 weeks. After you've parted with the company, what's next? Remember this, a layoff is not the end of your professional story. It's a fork in your journey, an opportunity to redirect your path, perhaps towards something even better. I know what you're going through. I've been through several layoffs, and while I walked through the valley of despair, it ended up being better on the other side every time. We'll cover what you should do to get back on your feet after you've parted with your company in our next video and newsletter. Until then, stay savvy